First off, I want to thank everybody for coming down here to the SOEC this afternoon in the BC Hockey Hall of Fame to support your team. The support is tremendous this afternoon, so thank you. We really know how much you guys support us by looking at all the faces that are out here this afternoon. I'm Fraser Rogers, Director of Broadcasting and Media Relations for the Penticton Vees. Today, the Vees will be unveiling a new season ticket campaign that the team's been working on for quite some time behind closed doors. The campaign's main goal, and will be reiterated throughout today's press conference, is to make Vees hockey and watching Vees hockey affordable to everyone in Penticton and here in the South Okanagan. Without further ado, I'd like to call on the President, General Manager, and Head Coach of the Penticton Vees, Mr. Fred Harbinson.
Thanks, Fraser, and I want to thank everybody for attending today. Fraser obviously kind of let the cat out of the bag that we're going to be announcing a new season ticket campaign, and I'm sure a lot of you were probably wondering if I was coming here to announce another title that I wanted to take over, but that wasn't going to be the case. So, you know what? This is a real exciting day, for our organization, and I think for probably more importantly for the community of Penticton. You know, I've been here, 6 seasons now, and getting ready to embark on our 7th. And I've always, anybody that's been around me has always, I've always told a story about, history and tradition that's brought me to this great job and the passion in this town. And there's been a lot of great historical events with Penticton hockey over the years. Clearly, the '55 championship team, the '86 Centennial Cup, and of course the 2012 championship we had only a couple of years ago with the RBC. But I think today is another one of those turning points in our organization. I think we're really proud of all those events, and I think today we're going to be real proud of this turning point and launching what we are calling whatever it takes, and it's going to be the kickoff slogan for the next month here with this ticket campaign, but also throughout the season. About 3 weeks ago, I was named president of the hockey club, and as I mentioned earlier, when I came here as coming here as the coach and general manager 6 years ago, when I took over that position. I clearly set goals for this organization on the hockey side, on the hockey operations, and we've been able to accomplish a lot of those goals that I'm proud to say, not just from my work, but obviously everybody in this room. And so now, when I took over the title of president 3 weeks ago, just like anybody else, when you take over a job, you set goals, and I set goals again that would focus more on the business side of our operation. The first goal that I set was to try to make sure a lot of people in town didn't understand that, or probably weren't aware that we were in the midst of trying to get a new lease agreement with the city, with the managing company, which is obviously Global. We're real excited about now that that was announced earlier this week, and so that was one of the things that was on my plate right away. And I'm first thing that we're going to announce today is that. We've got a new one-year lease that's a very good lease for both us and for Global and the city that we're going to be that's going to make our team more viable for the year to come. Okay, that will spin off into what we're hoping that'll be probably a long-term. We're looking for probably a 5-year lease that will coincide with Global Spectrum. I can say over the years it's been growing pains along the way, but I can say that ever since Dean Clark took over as the manager of this great facility, he understands hockey. He's been a part of many great facilities in Canada, and I can tell you that we're gonna, we wouldn't be doing this today without them, and this is going to be a great partnership for everyone. The second goal that I set was I felt that it was very important for our organization to do a better job of tying ourselves to minor hockey here in this community. We continuously hear different things about, maybe we don't have enough locals on the team and whatnot. Well, it doesn't start with me. It starts 10 years earlier when players start to begin to play hockey at the minor hockey level. And so I've talked extensively with the president of minor hockey, Bruce Judd, and we will be announcing that one of my assistant coaches, Mike Hengen, will be assisting the coaching coordinator for minor hockey throughout the year this year. And that will tie in where we'll have our players weekly out at practices. Myself and Steve Cawley, our other assistant, will obviously be adding assistants along the way. And we want to tie a better, just the whole development model that we've been using with our team and try to start it at the lower level. And I think that's important. All the teams in this community are calling themselves the Vees. Then we need to tie ourselves a little better to that. And obviously the first step is having a direct tie with Mike being on that staff. And then the last, and probably one of the most important ones, and why we're here today, is that I wanted to take that passion from the town for our team and turn this building, our game nights, as the #1 entertainment choice throughout the year. Okay, and so that's where we start today with our season ticket campaign. It's easier said than done. So you look at different ways that you're going to do it, and you have to change. Right now, throughout the years with the hockey team, we've made changes. We haven't done the things exactly the same way each and every year over the 6 years. We've made changes, and obviously we've seen positive growth with our hockey club in different areas. We need to do the same in our business model. I want to call this team, it's a community asset. Okay, it's something that I think the whole community needs to enjoy. And it starts with the hockey product. Okay, so the hockey product, we talked about championships. We've talked about the development side of things, where we've had over, in my 6 years here, we've had over 70 kids move on to NCAA Division I hockey. We just this last draft, I think it was our 19th and 20th players that were drafted that have played in this organization in the last 6 years. The SOEC, our record in this building, if you can think about it, 146 regular season games have been played in this building, and we've only lost 20. I mean, it's something that we can all be proud of. It's funny. So when you look at all that, I've always asked the question, do you want to go coach at a higher level? And I really don't understand why that is, unless it's the National Hockey League. I don't think there really is a higher level. You look at this facility, you look at the players that are coming through, you look at the passion in the town. I mean, you'd be crazy to call anything a higher level than this, unless you're coaching the National Hockey League. And so it brings us to, where are we going to go with this? So we talk about how we want to have this season ticket campaign. What are we going to do? I value the people that are in this room, especially. I value so greatly, more than you can imagine. And we want to make sure that we're doing something for you, giving something back. At the same time, we need your help, and we have to do it ourselves. We need to find ways to bring in the next group of people, maybe even the non-hockey fans. And we've already started. We know, like I said, we've dropped the ball a little bit on the business side, and we're going to take a more active approach on promotions and trying to find ways. And it goes back to our partnership with Global, where we're going to work together on different nights, where we can make it even more cost effective, maybe at the concessions and different things to attract maybe the non-hockey fan. And we're going to, it's not just words, we're going to do that, I can promise you. But the biggest thing, so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking of different ways. How do we get more people in this building? How do we become the #1 event day in and day out? There's a lot of different things to do nowadays. There's people with satellite dishes. You got the new theater in town. People's dollars are getting dragged in different directions. So you look around on the internet and you think of different options and what you can do. And actually one came. We saw one was sent over to me about one of the minor pro teams down in the States did a campaign that they stuck the coach up in this huge crane in a bucket and said that they weren't going to let him down until they sold X amount of tickets. Well, first thing, I'm scared of heights, okay? Second thing, I started thinking about, I thought, you know what? My wife Heidi might start a counter campaign, let's not sell the tickets, so he's stuck up there. So I thought, you know what, let's go in a different direction. And I think it goes back to affordability, the term that Fraser said. And with that affordability, I think it's really critical that we find ways to get the kids back in this building. I think my first year over at the old memorial, that was the one difference. I think there was a lot more children involved. That's something that's, whenever we have a special night here when there's more kids, it's an outstanding atmosphere, you gotta all admit, and that this is something that's gonna help with that. And like I said, if it's a community asset, everybody needs to enjoy it. And when you're talking about your business model, what happens is you start getting more people in the building. It helps in all the different aspects of our business. People want to, for the advertiser, any of the corporate advertisers that here, I mean, they want this building, filled. It gives more eyeballs on what they're doing. A lot of our advertisers are outstanding with the fact that they want to give back to the community as well. They have the same vision that we do, and they want to be able to buy tickets and send them off to maybe the Boys and Girls Club or the Big Brother, Big Sister, and this program is going to allow them an easier time in doing that, because like I said, I know nowadays the dollars are tight right now for everybody. So that brings us now to what everybody's been waiting for, and it's the ticket package that we're going to be offering. And as you can see here, what's going to happen is we're going to have different sections, and you can see the end zones. Instead it's basically half price. You're going to be down to $149 for a season ticket. The two corner sections at $169, the middle section at $199, and then obviously the club seats you'd have to see Deb O'Mara. But there will be a reduction there as well. But that's the beginning of it all. That just shows a significant price reduction, something that no other team in sports probably does right now. We're basically cutting our prices in half. And it's something that I had to, I'll be honest with you, I had to kind of stick my neck out a little bit on this one and to say that, listen, I think that number one reason why we don't have continuously a full building is dollars. I don't think it's the passion. I think everybody in this town loves the team. Obviously, we've had a winning team when we talk back to what our record's been, and I think our players, for the most part, have handled themselves well in the community. We give back. We have our kids going to the schools. We're doing a lot of different things in the community. But I think it goes back to dollars, and I think this is going to be a critical savings for a lot of families. Payment plan. We talk about payment plan. So the first thing, for some of you that are sitting in the room right now, you're saying, well, geez, I've already paid for my tickets up front. What's going to happen? Well, you have three options. One is that we're going to give you, obviously a credit back. You get some money back. The second would obviously be that we could roll that into credit for playoff tickets, or the third would be to roll into season tickets for the following year. Either way, you're going to get money back one way or the other. As far as the process goes, real simple. You can see here that those prices are for adult and senior season tickets. Taxes, fees are included. You have the option for a 4-payment plan, where 25% down, then the next 3 equal payments, so the remaining 75% balances over the next 3 months. And this all starts on July 15th, which is next Monday, and runs exactly a month to August 15th. After that, everything goes back to the regular season prices from a year ago. So we're hoping over the next 30 days that everybody can get on board, get their tickets, and be part of this. The next slide here, we'll talk what I think is probably the most important of the whole campaign. Is the children and student prices, $129. That averages out to about $4.60 a game, which we feel is very affordable, and I think it's, like I said, we've only had I think 9 child season tickets all of last year. We need to get that up. And then the exciting deal with the minor hockey parents, if a household, so if a parent buys, if the household has 2 parents, then obviously they have to both buy season tickets. If there's a single family home, then our parent home, then they have to buy 1 season ticket. And then if they bring in any of their children that are enrolled in minor hockey, if they bring in that registration, they will get a pass that'll have their picture on it, and they will get in free for the entire year. Like I said, I think a couple years ago when my son moved up here full time with me, and he's 13 now, and it brought me more into the grassroots of the community. I think he played on the Pee Wee team last year and listened to the family, especially when we had 2 games on a weekend. I truly believe this is going to help a lot of people come more often. I think it's going to get more children in the building, and I think this is going to be really an exciting month here to kick off. So I guess in closing, I want to, just like I would with my team before we go out on the ice, like I'm going to ask everybody in here not to sit down and not to sit back. I want you to step forward. We're going to have people selling these tickets, but you know what? It's just like in recruiting. My players are my best recruiters. Okay, you are part of the team. You are season ticket holders. We need you to go out there in the community and give that message out about how exciting this hockey is, that there isn't a better level unless you're going to the National Hockey League, that this building is one of the best in the country, and that you've got an organization that's going to do whatever it takes to make this a fun year. That's all I have.